that applies appropriate and considered measures for promoting investment and competition. But the conclusion is that different circumstances ask for different regulatory approaches. Okay, now we move to the Romanian case. The Romanian case, as I told you, is the Romanian market is characterized by infrastructure-based competition. We have three large operators that act in the fixed broadband market, one of them being the incumbent. But what is maybe typical and specific for Romania, the incumbent, it's not the largest operator, does not have the most subscriptions in broadband. The largest one is a former cable operator which migrated most of its cable access to FTT fiber to the building infrastructure, and then from there to the apartments they used UTP cable. The incumbent is also developing NGA, and they use fiber to the cabinet, and from the cabinet they use the copper, and they use VDSL to provide high-speed broadband, whereas the second largest cable operator and the third in the market in terms of subscription initiating investment in DOCSIS 3.0, meaning that they give high-speed broadband over the cable network. It's very interesting because these two cable operators, they started as resellers of TV programs, and they entered the market of fixed telephony, and then they entered the market of broadband, and one of them entered also the market of mobile technology. And what the incumbent did was to revert and enter the market of reselling TV programs. So basically now all three are competing in the same market with their own infrastructure. Okay, also because of this infrastructure competition, there is little interest in local loop unbundling take-up. So there's virtually no interest in this kind of provision of the services, and our regulatory and policy objectives meet, of course, the objectives of BEREC, which I presented you before. Technological neutral broadband penetration is one of our key statements. Also, we want to transmit in the market regulatory transparency and certainty, and also, of course, particular for Romania, use of EU funding for boosting infrastructure in white areas is also a key issue of our regulatory objectives. So the regulatory instruments that are at our disposal, we have S&P regulatory framework. We regulated Market 5. We imposed obligations on copper unbundling, but we did not impose duct access or fiber unbundling. And Market 5 was not regulated due to effective competition that registered at retail level. So the outcomes are that price regulation of copper-based are based on lyric model, and we have the market results are on fixed broadband penetration. We have 17% take-up of population, which transcends in 42% in households penetration. So here, even if we don't have, even if we don't have a large penetration rate, you can see that we score very high in these rankings in terms of coverage of fiber to the building or to the home coverage, and also in the penetration of the fiber to the node or to the cabinet. Than going further with VDSL and DOCSIS 3.0. This is just a figure presenting how the speeds in the broadband subscriptions are split in Romania. We can see that 65% of the connection are above 10 megabits, and we can go further on, and we can see here that we have the first one is the whole market with fiber FTTX technologies being the overwhelming technologies used in Romania, with 89% of the total broadband lines. We also have some exclusive coaxial cable broadband and exclusive UTP broadband, and this is the split in fiber FTTX technologies. Fiber to the building is the most common one with 49%, and fiber to the cabinet it's following with 35%. Now, the last slide of my presentation refers to the NGA connections. 63% of the fixed broadband lines in Romania are using NGA networks, and you can see by the splits here that we can recognize the three largest competitors in broadband and NGA. The biggest part of the pie is taken by, as I told you, the largest one using fiber to the building and fiber to the home, and fiber to the building goes further to the apartments with Ethernet. Also, we can recognize the incumbent with the VDSL technology, and DOCSIS 3.0, the second largest cable operator using cable to provide NGA. And I think this is all. Thank you.